Hello and welcome back to Gary and Reaver vs. of the Devil episode 1. We are, I assume, about halfway through the trial. As seen here, I successfully proved that David didn't kill himself, although by my estimation as Devil's Advocate, no I didn't. Because why would they think that Serra is acting with free will in killing him when androids don't do that? You know, because, I mean, technically it has been established that not many of them actually have the, the laws, but they still have tenets, presumably, which stop them from doing that. Even if she is like a kitchen sink one, she would presumably still have those laws, right? So I don't know how they're going to get around that and try and prove that she had the free will. I mean, she does. We know that she does, but they don't, and is there proof? She follows orders. That's been proven. Or, you know, theoretically, she may have chosen to shut down because she thought it was the best thing based on what we were saying, but at the same time, she may have just shut down. But then again, it took 3 attempts. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just stalling. So presumably this will be the trial of Serra, where Morgan is going to try and prove that Serra didn't kill David. And then... Sorry, it's just occurred to me. Serra was asleep when we got there. Oh, it's 8:50 p.m. That time just scrolled by on the top right. Serra was asleep when we got there, so that means after handing David the cups, David told Serra to go back to sleep and probably wipe her memory. Last thing before I do crack on. I realised, Serra said that there were cameras all over the place, so why did we only see, the most restrictive view of the liquor cabinet? If you've got security cameras, why would we only look at the one... I mean, that's, I suppose, when he got the whiskey, which was what was asked for, but still. Surely there is other footage showing that, the point they made was that Serra could have poisoned the cups at any time, but... Anyway, I managed to prove that David didn't kill himself. And in the process, I proved that his android... No, you didn't! I proved that the android that's been walking around with me is capable of murder. No, you didn't! A killer robot. No! None of this is proven. None of it! Alright, another quick tangent. Someone in my Discord was like, might be an idea to keep a notepad. By the way, you should join the Gary and Reaver Discord, link in the description. They said, might be an idea to keep a notepad for making notes during the cases. And, yeah, that would have been really helpful in this one. And neither I nor they were to know that earlier on. But I'm hoping that in subsequent episodes of this game, they don't... Oh, I didn't mean to click that. They make it so that it's not a necessity. I said before that sort of where I think this has gone wrong as a court case is a bit too much tried to create the... is the term Perry Mason moment? I've heard that term used, but I'm not entirely sure the use of it. Anyway, they're trying to create these shocking moments where it's this revelation, but the player isn't supposed to be unaware of them if I'm the one doing the moment, So, yeah, I think they need to be a bit more transparent with the information I do have and actually let me access it when I need it. And stuff like not knowing the answer to which of those things to ask Jess. It was an educated guess, but it was a guess. So much for avoiding the public eye. Oh, hang on, I missed a line, didn't I? A killer robot, a true unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. No! Alright, I'm going to stop complaining about this because I think this is just Morgan going off on one. Getting a bit thrown off a game and not actually speaking sense. So much for avoiding the public eye. Thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows. Huh. As if I'm doing you some kind of favour. I didn't realise I had any choice in the matter. Woo! This isn't some bad joke, is it, Miss Rockford? I'm afraid not, Your Honour. You know I like the adjutants, I always have. They deal with the criminal trial so that bookish, quiet, contemplative people like me can spend all day typing up arguments for obscure legal treatises. That's what I like to do. Oh, go on, let's have a look at the David, yeah. Ownership of Serra. Like, there is no motive for Serra to do it. There is no logic behind it. Like, it has to just be Morgan going off on one. Because there is no proof of anything. There is no proof that Serra poisoned the cups. There is no proof that there was poison in the cups, as was established. There's no proof that Serra did anything wrong whatsoever. It's just a case of, we didn't know that person was there. Well, they must have done it. Which doesn't line up. Because, you know, assault, which is presumably what I'm going to prove, but still. Also, I realised in the previous one, when I was like absolutely certain about some of my choices, I completely missed that I could increase the bet. Which I would have done if I'd noticed, because I was pretty certain about a couple of them. Okie dokie, Superior Judge of the Highest Circuit. Likes air conditioning, espresso, and reclining chairs. Dislikes parking lots, noise pollution, and mud. Avoids overspending. Splurges on hotels. And watches action movies. Okay, not what I expected. That's what I like to do. I don't like coming down here and dealing with all this heavy-handedness. Won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats? And I certainly don't like making rulings on anything as spicy as AI. She can barely bring herself to say it. And you, Councillor Morgan, you're the one it's registered to? That's correct, Your Honour. So what did it do exactly? Torture an animal, shut down a hospital, crash a coin market? We have it on camera poisoning a man. Objection! No, we don't. We have it on camera handing a cup that we do not know conclusively was poisoned to somebody who died of poisoning. There is no chain of proof here. Killing its creator? You mean Dr. Asher? That is... We can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. All we can do is wrap it up quickly. Let's make haste. Adjutant, do you have the case number? Case ID is 2412778, docket number YT9843182882. Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that? YT9843182882. I think I lost you after the first 8. I have it copied here. And what are the security procedures for an incident of this nature? A data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject was exposed to for more than 66 seconds. Okay, so this isn't the first case of an android suspected of this. There is clearly procedure. I guess this is saying that AI is an issue then. Huh. Okay. Alright, I'm a little bit more open to it, but still not by much. All offending hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a minimum temperature of 3,422 Celsius for 30 minutes. Sorry, Spearmint. There's nothing to be done, no debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. Sorry, Serra, not Spearmint. David gave you that name, I should at least make the effort to use it. No! That sounds very hot. Do we have furnaces that get that hot? Sorry, they seem burn her. Oh yes, all offending hardware. Sorry, I read that as the offending hardware are things that she's interacted with, not her. Ah. Do we have furnaces that get that hot? Of course, there are a number of industrial furnaces within the city limits that I could recommend. Sorry? Why should I be sorry anyway? I fulfilled the request. Favour repaid. I don't owe Serra anything, especially not if it killed my friend. Right, Morgan? I'm sorry? I was just saying how grateful I am that we have the procedures for this kind of thing all laid out already. Yep, keeps things nice and simple. It can feel somewhat severe going through these steps so quickly, but nothing, Your Honour. Artificial intelligence is perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization and the sanctity of life there's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, If it can violate the tenets it was programmed with, it has the potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments. I mean, do we know what tenets she was given? It doesn't say on her valuation. They did talk about it. Didn't they say it was 27 or something? Which wasn't like an extreme number. But A, there's nothing in there saying she can't kill, so therefore technically she might not be violating her tenets. No, that's it. That's it. That's the only point I need to make. We don't know what the tenets are, therefore we don't know if she was violating them. I mean, I'm all but certain she can violate them if she chooses. I don't think she did in this case. Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Straight from the textbook, almost. Well, I mean it. Monsters like that don't belong in this world. They should never have been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. I think that was a slip-up. I think she's thrown and she just slipped up. The pause right before that, that's Emma clocking maybe one of the first direct signs that Morgan isn't reacting like a person. Maybe she is a psychopath. Sorry, I'm back on that. Like, because there's very much, I'm all but certain that throughout the however many episodes this game is going to have, it's going to be weaving the narrative of Emma coming to realize that Morgan is the heartbreak killer. And, God knows how it's going to all pan out. But I can see there being little hints like this. Just tiny little moments, especially in these early ones where they don't want to telegraph it. I reckon it... Assuming a 5-episode... Sorry, I'm wildly speculating here. Assuming like a 5-episode structure, which is how these things usually go, maybe 6, I reckon Emma will cotton on end of episode 3? So, like, if I was to write the story, I think that's how I'd do it. But, yeah, stuff like this, straight from a textbook almost, it's very much like... Yeah, she's not emoting like a person over this possession of hers. She's just quoting books and stuff. And I bet this is the sort of thing that I can see being quoted back at her at some point. They should never have been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. And if anyone's to blame, it's... No one's blaming you, Counselor. You couldn't have known you're in possession of an AI. I'm talking too much. Yeah, see, I called it that she slipped up. Probably just tired. It's been a long day and I've had a lot of thoughts. Oh, she's so innocent. And like 100% she didn't do this. There is no doubt in my mind that she didn't. A, because it would be too iRobot. God, that's going to really bite me in the arse if it's proven that she did. But also, there's stuff like the salt shaker and Young's discrepancies that are way too much proof that she did it. They can't possibly be red herrings. This is the red herring. This is the spearmint herring. Sorry, Serra. Whatever you are, you were just born wrong. It's interesting that she's saying born. Not your fault, necessarily. If it were up to me, you'd get points for trying. Trying to be something more. Is she talking about herself? Trying to be something at all? Or anything other than what you are? It was stupid, of course, and futile. And pointless, spending hours in front of a TV or lying in bed staring at your phone. Yeah, she's definitely talking about herself. Yeah. Look at her. Young Morgan. Watching stupid movies and trying to papier-mâché an ill-fitting mask of humanity out of the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines and trying to get something to take root and grow despite knowing it'd have nothing to feed on. Is this... This might be the conclusive proof that she is a psychopath then. Or a sociopath? I don't know. You know, she's clearly not feeling... Like, not a true psychopath. God, I'm just leaning on my Dexter knowledge here. Yeah, like, not a true psychopath in that she does clearly have emotions. But... I don't know. Maybe they all do. I don't know. Not my area, really. But interesting. Interesting that this earlier shot was actually her and not Serra. I should have clocked it. Sarah's hair's different. But I was occupied. Too many thoughts. Stupid. No! 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 Nicht. Nein. Raise. Raise. No, that's the call symbol. Damn. Morgan? What was that, counsellor? Huh. I said objection. And what are you objecting to? I mean, for one, the correct grammar is, to what are you objecting? What are you doing, Morgan? I'm a defense attorney. This is what I do. All right. Sorry, this thought occurred to me a few seconds ago, but I got distracted by the call. Did David know she was a psychopath? And if so, is him giving Serra to her a way to humanize her? I don't know. It could just be Morgan projecting, but she has definitely seen something in Serra. I understand that you've been through a lot these past few hours, counsellor, but there's nothing to defend. On the contrary, Your Honour. I have to defend myself. Pardon? You say that this android, Serra, is an AI because it broke its tenets. Obviously. And you believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage, which appears to show it committing murder via poison. All true, and no laws broken on your part. Here it comes. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Don't you dare try and entrap me on this. Right, so here's the betting thing I kept missing. What an interesting thing to pop up. I suppose I completely forgot the handgun existed. I have no earthly idea. But given the fact that his autopsy is there, it makes me think it's this one. Tested inconclusive. Oh, I don't bloody know. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself just to make a point. How is this incriminating herself? I have no idea. It's got to be the cup. That's the only thing that ties into this timeline. So, describes David's employment and fireable offences like fraud. I can't see how that's possibly relevant here. The handgun, a recent purchase more bugged than a picnic. I can't see how that's relevant except the fact that it might incriminate her because she has a gun. Proves ownership of Serra found inside the panic room. I mean, that proves that she is the owner? Again, you believe it broke its tenets because of the newly discovered that appears to show it committing murder via poison. It's got to be the cup. With the cup being the cup tested inconclusive, saying it didn't break its tenets because it didn't commit murder, because there is no proof of it committing murder, because the cup was inconclusive. It's got to be that. Oh, hell. God, that is loud. I'm just going to turn that down. Oh, hell, do I go all in on this? I can't imagine it being anything else. Again, none of this incriminates her. I mean, it's her wading in, but there's no incrimination going on. The cup the victim drank from? Are you trying to confess to poisoning him? You weren't even in the building for start. What? I don't understand. I know that. What is going on? See, it's something like this. This is clearly a gotcha moment on Morgan's part, but I don't know what the fuck her point is. How is she incriminating herself to make a point? It's got to be the gun. That's the only thing that incriminates her in inverted commas, except maybe her ownership of Serra. Oh, screw it. I'm just... Why would it be the gun? The gun has no relevance. Oh, I don't know what the point she's trying to make is, and I can't work it out from the little she said. I was trying to go into this a bit calmer after I got worked up last time, but don't you dare try and entrap me on this. I mean, she isn't. Is it saying that that's what I was doing? The only thing I can think of is Sarah's papers, because they're dated from like weeks back. So technically, legally, I mean, they weren't like filed or anything, but legally, Serra's ownership had passed over to Morgan prior to the murder. It's this or the gun, but fuck knows. It's pretty simple, actually. If the state is making the claim that Serra is an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony. Because I'm the legal owner of that android. I mean, she was registered, wasn't she? So she was the lead... You can see why I'm having trouble with this being a gotcha moment. Because, like, we already confirmed earlier, Morgan is the one the android is registered to. The point of the papers isn't proving her ownership, it's proving her ownership if it is disputed, which no one is disputing. They are acknowledging that she is the owner, but that doesn't, because she's only just gained possession of her, she didn't know it was an AI. Oh, you can see why I thought it was the cup, though, right? I'm the legal owner of that android. What the hell are you doing? And if the state wants to charge me with owning an AI, I will not take that lying down. I know my rights. Counselor, your argument is self-defeating. Listen to yourself, Counselor. You claim that Serra is just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. But you've only known it for a few hours. You've only owned it for a matter of minutes. And yet here you are risking a felony charge to save it from being demolished? Because you're wrong. And I know you wouldn't care. Not unless this android was something special. Was that, again, was that her hinting that she knows there's something up with Morgan? Or is it like a I know Morgan thing? Or was that just a wink to the audience because this was coming next? Look at us. Me arguing that I'm guilty and Emma arguing that I'm a softie. That'd be funny if it wasn't so fun. You think there's no reason I'd want to save this android from destruction? Other than feelings of personal attachment? I mean, that's not what she said. She said, unless this android was something special, like a kitchen sink one and David's last creation. I suppose David's last creation would be personal attachment. This is going to be the valuation. Yeah, it's the evaluation. Starling's text, irrelevant. Starling's testimony, irrelevant. Serra's papers, already shown. It's the evaluation. So this is Morgan being like, no, the reason I care is she's incredibly valuable. So I'm certain about this one. I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Serra into slag. One very convincing reason. Or very convincing number. What are you... What is that? That number is Serra's estimated financial value on the collector's market. You've got to be... I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you. That does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact. It's a free country, Your Honor. I have a right to defend myself. And we have a free market, so I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests. Your Honor, a trial like this would be... I'm not going to let you turn this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing in expert after expert to testify on the philosophical distinctions between AI and ads. Spiraling into appeal after appeal, all while the media... This machine appears to have willfully killed a man. No proof of that. Literally none. Circumstantial at best. The public needs answers now. Of course, Your Honor. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect. So, the state says my android, my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets, so they want to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove that my machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I'll get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure thwarted. Don't be cute. I feel a stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Asher. No, prove that it couldn't have killed him. Anything less than absolute proof and I'll have the damn thing obliterated. And you'll be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you'll have enabled. Yes, Your Honour. D.A. Rockford, what I'm asking for you is just as heavy. Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. We can't settle for anything less. Win or lose, there can be no doubts about the outcome of this case. Yes, Your Honour. And now I need to go lie down. Can I come? Okay, that's a ship I didn't expect. You can power down. Huh. So Morgan has got a personal attachment here. Why would she downplay the personal attachment? There's so much going on I don't understand. Like, Morgan wants to present a human face, particularly to Emma, because Emma is one of the more astute people. So claiming personal attachment should be a good thing. I mean, I suppose if you're trying to convince the court, then personal feelings aren't going to sway them as much as a massive load of numbers. So maybe that's why. But she could have said as well. I don't know. She didn't exactly refute personal attachment. Morgan. I misjudged you. At what point? Whenever I wrote you off as a small-time defense attorney just trying to tread water. That is so sweet of you to say, Emma. There's layers to you. You got backbone. Teeth, even. Yeah, again, I feel that's just a little hint that Emma's cottoned on to something. You're gonna make me blush. People talk about your kind like you're boxing against the state, fighting the man. But most defense attorneys wouldn't know a cyberpunk if they walked up to them on the street and shot him. Meanwhile, you've just signed on to do 15 rounds challenging the state's authority. Why? Not sure exactly. For David? Yeah, probably. Probably just me being sentimental. Okay, well that's answered it. The truth of the matter, the money doesn't really matter to her. And Emma seems to be aware of that. Like, maybe the numbers was just to convince Barrows. But, yeah, it is a combination of, this is... Like, she had that revelation, I should use the name David gave you, which implies there is a sentimental attachment, via David. And Morgan has now seen some of herself in Serra, so it's a combination of those that's made her care a bit more. Enough to save her. But if I had to pick a more lofty reason, well, I think it's all the moralizing. People can be evil. They can choose to do evil things for evil reasons. And if you want to execute them for that, you'll hear no complaint from me. But animals can't be evil. Information can't be evil. Ideas can't be evil. Guess I'm not convinced AI can be evil either. Whatever else I get up to. I don't want to stand with the book burners of the world. You're more high-minded than I realised. You sure you're in the right line of work? Can't see myself doing anything else. Huh. Good luck, Morgan. There are book burners on all sides these days. I talked a big game just now, but I'm in an even deeper hole than when I was trying to prove David's innocence. Doubt won't be enough this time. I need to find the actual culprit no matter what. It's young. It's young and she did use the salt shaker. I'm guessing it was, after all, a custom poison that was available in a salt form and then triggered by alcohol. Because that lines up.